I'm going to explain some psychological trickery here that most people don't even think about. So, what would I do if I were a control freak and I wanted to control the world? Now, there are different steps to this, but what you need to realize is that there are two different paradigms of operation for a human being. One paradigm is that you're self realized, you are compassionate, you don't need to control anyone or anything outside of you. You live as one with all. You live in the flow of nature and everything. So you're part of source. You understand that you are spirit having a material experience, and you don't feel the need to kill anyone over food or shelter or anything like that because you're self-sustained. That paradigm is the Christ paradigm or the enlightened paradigm, whatever you want to call it. It's about symmetry and balance and lucidity. Most importantly, you are lucid. You understand consciously what you are and how the world works, the true nature of reality, right? The other paradigm is that you are in this world where you are constantly in fear of being hurt, of dying, of not having enough food, not enough shelter, no clothes, and you need a ruler that will make everything all better. In that paradigm, the controlling entities use that mentality to control the masses. Now, there are two ways to do that. Remember, everything has an equal or opposite reaction or action. So you might think, well, unity is the way. Or you might think, well, polarity is how you have two different ways of thinking, and one way is better than the other way. And that's what they did with the political system in America and in England and other countries. And that's what all of these different social constructs were about. But they're all under the false paradigm, right? The wrong paradigm if you want to be a liberated human being, self-realized and all that. So this paradigm under which we've been operating is where these controlling entities will divide and conquer. They create the division within these large groups of people, and they make them fight against each other, like with Democrats and Republicans, right? Whereas when you have a polarity system, it should be you come together in the middle. But see, that's not what's happening. It's people are like, you're either conservative or you're liberal. No, sometimes you need to be conservative with money. Sometimes you need to be liberal with your choices. You know, sometimes you need to allow people to do what they want to do as long as it's not hurting anyone. And when it comes to being conservative, sometimes you need to back off a little bit. You can't always be conservative. Sometimes it's okay to be a little more liberal. And sometimes it's okay to be a little more conservative. Do you understand? You have to meet in the middle. Everything has to be weighed out. But in that system, they've created this division to where the left and the right are at each other's throats constantly. So then this opens the door for a world ruler to come in, or a country, nation ruler to step up and say, I am going to fix everything. They've done this over and over and over again, from country to country, and now on a global scale. Now that they've worn out all their other options and people are starting to wake up, it's going to be this alien invasion. Because that's the way you convince the entire world that they need to be afraid of something that only the government, the world government, or one world ruler can save you from. Before it was religion, and now it's this. Well, religion has come to an end because people are waking up to the fact that a religious dogma or institution is doing the same thing. They're using your need for a savior to be saved to control you. It doesn't matter what you believe about God. That's what they're doing. They don't care what you believe. They just want you to believe that you are in danger and they're the only ones who can save you. And that even if they have to step into the role of God or become the middleman between you and God. Whatever they need to do, that's what they're going to do to stay in control. So let's sum this up, okay? We have two paradigms. One paradigm is the path to liberation and salvation. The other path is enslavement, and suffering. The reason this paradigm that we're in now is considered suffering, most people are in, is because they refuse to let go of their attachment to people, places, things, ideas, concepts that they think are going to save them. They do not understand that you save yourself by releasing from attachment to those things, by being self-realized and understanding that everything is impermanent, that you're just a conscious being having material experience. You don't need a ruler, and you can never be sustained by going extremely this way or extremely that way. Your salvation is always in the middle, okay? It's always in balance. Balance isn't always in the middle, so it's just that it's always balanced. Does that make sense? Now, the other paradigm is the paradigm of liberation, transparency, self-realization, lucidity, peace, because you don't have a need. You're not in fear. You've mastered your lower animal nature, your fear, fight or flight responses, your animal urges. Get thee behind me, Satan, right? That's what that means. You're using your higher operating system, your higher consciousness, the Father in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Consciousness. So you've switched from one paradigm to the next. It's really that simple. It has nothing to do with all the dimensional layers and how you meditate and all. It has nothing to do with any of that. It's about your mind. It's very simple. Either you choose to be liberated and saved through your own work by choosing salvation yourself, or you're continuing to look outside of yourself for your salvation, in which case you will always be manipulated because someone will always pick up on that and use that against you.